everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. Well, it's 2020. I'm looking forward to making this channel really big in 2020. I've been doing this a while. You know it, for those of you who've been watching me. And it's time for me to really get on this channel. Get more subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We're going to do 2 blind tastings in a row. The first one is going to be Cabernet Franc. And these are Cabernet Francs from different parts of the world. But not for the typical places where they're normally found. Ooh, gotta grab a glass here. There we go. So, Cab Franc from areas not typically known for Cab Franc. Okay? Now, Cab Franc's grown all over the world. Very popular grape, made famous in, as you know, Bordeaux. In fact, the home of Merlot, where it was started, was on the right bank of Bordeaux, near Pomerol and Cheval Blanc and those areas, which use quite a bit of Cab Franc in their wines. In fact, I think Cheval Blanc uses 2/3 Cab Franc in their blend with Merlot. So there you go. Now, the other question I have a question at the end, and I hope you make a comment. I like comments. We'll see if you know the answer to that question at the end of this episode. So let's get started right away. Number 1, sorry, the numbers are, this is number 1. I should have put the number down lower. Sorry about that. Give it a little rinse. Cabernet Franc, as you know, is the parent of Cabernet Sauvignon. Cabernet Franc and Sauvignon Blanc are the parents of Cabernet Sauvignon. Kind of weird, isn't it? You know, that a white grape would be also the parent of Cabernet Sauvignon. So number 1, Cab Franc. Cab Franc is also, they found recently, the parent of Merlot. So Cab Franc is very popular. In most of the blends of Bordeaux, you will find it's considered the 3rd grape of Bordeaux. Let's see what we get on the nose. Cab Franc's famous for being herbaceous, vegetal. So that's one of the things. You get a lot of tobacco, very savory. This has that little bit of a tobacco kind of dried twig thing going on. Getting a little bit of currants coming through. Yeah, definitely I get like a Brussels sprout, sort of green bell pepper thing on the nose here. A little bit of licorice as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. A little bit. And now this has some good tannins to it, good structure. A little bit of black pepper coming through, a little pepper coming through on the backside of this one. Good cherry and currant notes. But I can get that kind of green bell pepper, Brussels sprout thing coming through a little bit, not a lot. It's not off-putting. Some people really like that. I like that sometimes, but this is very subtle. Good tannic structure though. Licorice notes come through, tobacco. Solid, seamless across palate, but nice edgy tannins. Good food wine. This would be great with burgers. This is typically what you would expect a Cab Franc to taste like. And the last question that we'll have for the day has something to do with that. Let's see, number 1. I like this one. It's not super complex. You get a little bit of tobacco. You get that kind of currant, cherry tones coming through, a little, you get the green bell pepper, kind of that spice at the back side of this one. Not super complex, but good. Yeah, we'll stick with that on number 1. I should guess pricing. You kind of put me on the spot there. I like the red flower notes that come through on the back side of that one. Yeah, I think that's a fair grade. I do. Let's move on. Number 2. Number 2. Right there. Lower next time, Stan. I'll probably get it wrong in the next episode as well. All right. difference there. Cab Franc is a little thinner, ripens a little bit earlier than Cabernet Sauvignon, so it's kind of an insurance grape in the Bordeaux Valley. I always like those wines that ripen just a little bit earlier. Let's see what we get on the nose. Number 2. A lot of bark. A lot of bark. Bark and interesting, a little plum and currant notes coming through. A little plum on this one. A little plum action. I get tobacco as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. Bigger fruit on this one for sure. New World, obviously, to me. Plum big time. Ripe currants. Plum, ripe currants, and then right on the back end, you get that kind of green bell pepper veggie component that comes through. But it's very subtle on this wine. The tannins on this wine are a little bit softer than the first one. I think this is more of a crowd-pleasing Cab Franc. It shows true to Cab Franc. Most times you're not going to get Cab Franc that doesn't show a little vegetal component that comes through, herbaceousness. This has it. Currants, plums, a little bit of leafy component coming through, green bell pepper, a little bit of spice. This is a bigger style Cab Franc than I'm used to. Curious to see which one this is. But I like it. I think it has good complexity. It shows the characteristics of Cab Franc that we're looking for. You get that kind of herbaceousness, but you have that nice kind of plum currant thing that comes through. I like it. Okay. Spice is lingering on this one. Go a little more generous on that. Okay. Let's move on. How many of you guys out there like Cab Franc? Now, it's not a varietal that everybody goes to. You know, we all know that everybody likes their Cabernet Sauvignon. They like blends, you know, Syrah, Zinfandel. A lot of, how many actually look for, how many of you actually seek out Cabernet Franc? Number 3. I have some friends I know that do. Good color on this one. Nice and dark. It's a little darker than the other two. Let's see what we get on the nose. Very interesting nose. It feels like I just felt like I fell into a pile of dried twigs. A lot of ripe currants on this one. Big time ripe currants. And red flowers. Nice red flower. I like red flower notes on my wine. Don't always ask me to identify the red flowers. I'm not a big flower guy. My wife is, and she's taught me a lot. But I have to tell you, I'm not always familiar with the aromas of flowers. I just know it smells like a lot of red flowers that I've run across. And definitely that almost a little bit of hay coming through. Let's see what we get on the palate. Good depth on this wine. Tannins are nice and sturdy. Good flow across the palate. Nice complexity. We get currants, tobacco, just a little bit of that vegetal characteristic that we like about Cab Franc, that I like about it. If you're a big Cab Franc person, you know what I'm talking about, right? You get it. Long finish. Tobacco lingers with the currants on the back end. solid Cab Franc. I like this Cab Franc. It shows all the characteristics I'm looking for. It has the fruit that I think a lot of you guys would like. Nice complexity. Good integration of all the elements. There's a little bit of minerality. A little bit of licorice coming through right at the back end. Solid Cab Franc. This might be my favorite of all of them. Alright. There you go. Gotta take one more sip. Yeah, that herbaceousness, the pyrazines, really hit on the mid palate and then linger into the finish. But there's enough fruit that I think a lot of you would like this wine. Got my Seahawks jersey on. This is Saturday. I'm putting this episode up on Tuesday. I have to shoot ahead of time because this is my day off. And the Seahawks play tomorrow against the Eagles. So, anyway, let's line them up. If I can find the grade, that would be awesome. Oh, there we go. Ah, I gotta get plain bags. It just doesn't work. Okay. Okay, there you go. I think it's exactly the same order that I tasted them. So, in last place, with a B-, which is a very respectable grade, by the way, B-, is the Duragudi Cabernet Franc, Mendoza, Argentina. And this rolls in at $16, I believe. That's close, anyway. Duragudi from Argentina. Liked it. B- is a great grade. Let's move on. Duragudi 2017 Cabernet Franc. B-. Okay, with a grade of a B+, so, you know, big jump up, a little bit of a jump up, I should say, not big, is the 2015 Garzon Cabernet Franc, and this rolls out from Uruguay, and this is $19. I believe this is 17. This is 19. 2015 Garzon. There you go. Good wine. A little more fruit. This was a little leaner. More tannic. This just had good fruit, but still had all the elements that you're looking for in a Cabernet Franc, and that's key, really. You want those. You want typicity. With an A, in first place is the 2012 Northwest Totem Cellars Sagemore Vineyard Cabernet Franc. This is Washington State Cab Franc. This doesn't surprise me. This rolls in at $40. But, you know, Mike Sheridan, good friend of mine, once again, the winery doesn't exist anymore. He now has a wine bar and cafe, well, actually it's a restaurant wine bar in Friday Harbor, right next to where I work, and he's a good friend of mine. Nice job, Mike. Good Cab Franc. I think I've reviewed it before, but it still came in first place. Nice job, guys. So the question that I have for you, and you please answer it in the comments. We know that Cab Franc is famous in Bordeaux, but what other area of the world is it most famous from? Do you know the answer? Make a comment, let me know. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day to watch this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to push subscriptions. I know, you know, it makes me feel good. I get excited when I see another subscriber come on board. It's cool. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.